Good morning and welcome to the Odyssey. So, we're going to be starting the Odyssey on book 9. The Odyssey is a very long story, so we're only going to be taking certain excerpts from it. We're going to start with a recording today, so I hope that this works out well. If you need to read along, there will be a link attached as well so that you can read what I have in front of you, just in case you'd rather not go through just this avenue. But let's see if it works first. We are going to be working on Book 9, New Coast, and Poseidon's Son. So, a couple things that I want you to keep in mind. Number one, we had learned about the tradition of hospitality in Greek mythology. So, if you have a guest who comes to stay with you, especially a visitor of unknown origins, you want to treat them as well as possible. So I want you to see how hospitality, how that tradition is upheld in this story. How are they demonstrating good hospitality? And then what are your responsibilities as someone who is a guest in another's home? So see whether or not we are having good guests as well. The other thing I want you to notice is Odysseus is going to be recounting a tale, and I would like you to keep in mind how much he contributes to his own downfall. So, a lot of times you'll find that when bad things happen, they blame the gods. But is it always the gods' fault, or does Odysseus play a role in some of his own downfall? So, hospitality traditions and whether or not it's really the gods' fault with what happens to Odysseus. All right, let's get started, see if this will work.
Book 9, New Coasts and Poseidon's Son. In Books 6 through 8, Odysseus is welcomed by King Asinius, who gives a banquet in his honor. That night, the king begs Odysseus to tell who he is and what has happened to him. In Books 9 through 12, Odysseus relates to the king his adventures. I am Laertes' son. What shall I say first? What shall I keep until the end? The gods have tried me in 1,000 ways. But first my name. Let that be known to you, and if I pull away from pitiless death, friendship will bind us, though my land lies far. I am Laertes' son, Odysseus. Men hold me formidable for guile in peace and war. This fame has gone abroad to the sky's rim. My home is on the peaked sea mark of Ithaca, under Mount Neon's wind-blown robe of leaves, in sight of other islands, Dulichium, Sami, wooded Zacynthus, Ithaca being most lofty in that coastal sea, and northwest, while the rest lie east and south. A rocky isle, but good for a boy's training. I shall not see on earth a place more dear, though I have been detained long by Calypso, loveliest among goddesses, who held me in her smooth caves to be her heart's delight, as Circe of Aea, the enchantress, desired me and detained me in her hall. But in my heart I never gave consent. Where shall a man find sweetness to surpass his own home and his parents? In far lands he shall not, though he find a house of gold.
Okay, let's just take a look at the way that this opens up. First, it's almost as if Odysseus is providing a resume. He gives a background on who he is, whose son he is, to show his credibility to his host. And he's about to recount the story of his long journey. Now, remember, the journey begins after the Trojan War. That took 10 years of his life, and this journey to get home is going to take 10 years as well. So he goes through some of the journey that has already brought him to this gentleman's door, and he points out in the last line, in far lands he shall not, though he find a house of gold. What does he mean by that? He's pointing out that he has been so many places, but he would never find a place as wonderful as his home in Ithaca. Now, I know that this is a difficult point to kind of drive home at the moment because you are all stuck at home. So you may not agree with Odysseus at this point, but being gone for so long has made him realize how much he misses his home.